Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to be here with you today, and particularly a privilege to be introduced by a board member, Horace, who is a star with us. Very, very proud of our board. And a little unusual for me because he was very specific and said that in this particular presentation, I had to talk about my work. Usually I get to talk only about IFI. So I'm going to take the opportunity to share with you some thinking. I don't really like talking about my work. I think it's, for me, a little presumptuous, perhaps. But in the context of the Hong Kong Design Week, or the Business of Design Week, I thought it would be perhaps appropriate to share what is important for us at the collective. And for us at the collective, we define innovation and creativity perhaps a little differently to the norm. We believe that there are no new ideas in the world, that the world has existed so long, for so many hundreds of years, as has humanity, and that ideas they're in the domain of all of us, and we share them all with everyone, and that we really just tweak creativity in our way. And so innovation for us is a very big word that we take quite seriously. And we're not really interested in innovating style or trend. We think about innovating processes. So what I'm going to share with you is really something that's about process. And I suppose in a sense it's also the work we've been doing at IFI in the last 4 or 5 years. And germane, absolutely fundamental and core to the process for us are people. We think that the social economy that is pervasive in this 21st century is all about us. Certainly it's about our world. In a time of perhaps diminishing resources, we get to be seriously innovative with how to create more with less. And most importantly, we get to understand ourselves. And I love this quote from Maya Angelou that says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And this is the realm that I really want to focus on. And a lot of that is some of the thinking that we've been doing in this book that was published in the United States and the UK some 2 years ago, and I'm very pleased and proud that it's now been translated into simple Chinese and was launched here in China just a few months ago. And in the realm of that, we believe that our environments are the repositories of our memories and the containers of our dreams, aspirations, wants, and needs. They are reflections of us, our society, our culture, and our time. And so then what is it that we're innovating? If what we aspire to generate through design, by design, through the business of design, and in order to help the economic growth of our cities and nation through design, then what exactly is it that we're doing? Well, this is our interpretation. We believe that it's important for us to think back into our history, into our time. And you're looking here at this little piece, all the way at this end. This diagram is important because this is how we exist in the continuum of hundreds and hundreds of years. And in this continuum, what will we do now? Not only in the next 5 years, but in the next 50 years. What will we do to innovate, to think, to create in order to leave a better world for the next 50 years or so? These are a few diagrams from my book, Rethinking Design. And these diagrams think back to the dawn of humanity, when we were right at there in the cave, up here, and how we dressed, what we did, and as we evolved through time to here we are today. What's kind of interesting is that we think about clothing ourselves, our environment is a second skin or perhaps a third skin for who we are as people, but our fashion is our second skin, our physical skin being the primary, I suppose. And what is it that we will do now that will change, that will define our day and time? What about our positions? What about who we are as people? What do we need? How do we need it? We know that in this vertical position, we're always supported. In the horizontal position, we're always supported. And we need to be supported in the sitting position. Crouching is not so comfortable, and seats are what we have invented and products we've designed. And so what does that mean? And ergonomics come into being with this and with our work. And what it really starts to do for us is generate a need for us to better understand ourselves. And in that context, the chair or the throne or the seat becomes very, very important. But what does that look like in this 21st century when technology has dramatically and dynamically changed what we do, how we do it, and as we become ever more sedentary in our processes and functions? I suppose the biggest innovation we have seen is with our tools. Our tools came from just simple rocks, simple things that we found in order to cut and crack, to new engineered tools that are laser and driven by sensory. We don't even need knives anymore in our surgery. So that's where real innovation sits. And for me, it's a very exciting time because we stand on the verge down here of a new era that ushers an unknown that we have never had in our history before. And so life has changed, times have changed, and we're dealing with a new kind of day and age and technology that we don't yet understand very well. So still staying in history, our architecture didn't change very much. Our structures haven't changed very much. We learned how to, at first we had found shelter. We learned how to make very simple shelter. We recreated it, and we didn't really evolve it that much. Structure was pretty straightforward, pretty simple. But as that structure has evolved, as our functions have evolved from the foraging and the hunting and gathering to plowing and farming to here in the technological age, and as we now think about our cities that are becoming mega structures, we're not really sure quite what our structures need to do to support the amount of humanity that's multiplying super fast. But one thing we are very sure of is that we don't really understand the realm of self sufficiently. We know that we understand our intellect, we know that we understand our physicality, but we yet do not understand our senses, our perception, our behavior, and our psychology, which is where I believe it is the biggest opportunity for our largest growth and our largest potential for innovating. I'm going to show you a few case studies for this kind of thinking about people. This project is for the Edinburgh College of Art in Edinburgh, Scotland. And we were asked to design interiors for this building, a brand new building that sits adjacent to the college building that's right there, an old 1906 purpose-built building. This building is not purpose-built. It was built for a law firm and is a state-of-the-art eco-building that had won awards for sustainability and uses materials and construction and planning that was suitable for a very, very high-end client. And when we started to look at this, the college was completely up in arms, saying, you know, this building is far too sophisticated for an art college, and where is the creativity? And we need large open spaces for students to be able to explore their creativity. This is an office building. It's going to stifle creativity. And this is indeed what it looked like. The colors are not what looked like. Some of these details we changed, but wood doors, travertine floors, pretty sophisticated details, and the critique was correct. So how do we, as designers, rehabilitating, this was a brand new building, it had sat empty for 6 years, was not able to be occupied, and the college got it for a song, absolutely very cheaply. And so the college was very keen to use it. And we then went in there and said, okay, then let's very carefully select the functions. We actually moved the senior administration offices in here. We moved the library. We moved some of the design studios that were suitable for an environment like this. But we made sure that we could incorporate and allow for the kind of creativity that could be expressed for the creative individuals. One of the critiques was that as much as it would stifle creativity for the art students, was that art students, these sort of messy, crazy, unshaven individuals who needed to self-express through graffiti and chaos, you know, what would they do? They would destroy this very high-end building. I am happy to say that 6 years later, the space has not been destroyed. The behavior is extraordinary, and the students keep it pristine. The bathrooms that had cantilevered little individual bathroom stalls with sinks and very high-end fixtures remain intact, and people seem to be very proud of it. We took this building as an opportunity to really affect culture change, and one of the biggest culture shifts we made was with the principal. This is the principal's office. In the UK, there is a culture to have senior leadership, the CE, the principal of the college, to sit in an office suite that has a back door out. If you have a group of students that are upset and they're at your front door complaining, often the principal can find another way to leave and somebody else deals with that issue. And we decided, well, maybe this wasn't appropriate anymore in the 21st century. And so we literally made an office suite, an environment. Their boardroom is back there, breakout space in the middle, and literally a fish bowl, a glass bowl for the principal to sit in. And you're looking at this breakout space. That's the principal's office. And a vitrine there where these red rows are actually spaces for student work, so that it becomes pretty seamless, where the principal lives with the work that is done by their students. And this space is shared by faculty, students alike, some administrative offices. This project grew into 6 different projects for us at the college, and the next one that we are involved with is linking these 2 buildings. These 2 buildings have no interconnectivity, so this is this new building, sits here. Purpose-built building is back here, and we're literally building a bridge to connect the 2 buildings from within to be able to join up. The buildings are very different, obviously, and this context of this project is very historic. From both of these buildings, up here in this area, you see the historic Edinburgh Castle, and you're right in the heart of the city. And when we're thinking about building this, here is the bridge that we want to connect. This is the 1906 Beaux-Arts building, new building. We literally are just making a little L shape. And we think that this connector piece can also be something that begins to take advantage of new technologies and almost an exhibit space to allow for the creativity of the students. But most importantly, for the students to be able to move through there. And there's the Edinburgh Castle. You're seeing it in the background just over there. To be able to move through there and to own the space that is really their domain. Another example of an equal kind of very soft innovation. Again, we're really not into the cool and the hip and the chic. We just want to be sensible and smart, and we want our environments to express the client. And we think that the gauge of success in our environments has to do, is shared back with us when our clients are really proud of their environment. And their pride, we know when they take really good care of it, and years later, the project hasn't changed. And this is a showroom for a major carpet manufacturer. And you're seeing this curtain that looks a little trendy, but it's actually backing material for carpet. And this is what that curtain looks like. What you were looking at was this reception area. We're standing right there looking into that seating area. So you come off the elevator into this volume that then is defined through this little meander, almost like a carpet roll that unfurls, and the weaving or the threading of the space happens with the backing material of the product of the carpet that's nylon that carpet is tufted into, and it's used to both define the client, what they sell, but also connect 6 of their different brands together. Other images of that space. Another client is Baxter's, which is like Campbell soups. I don't know if you have Baxter soups here, but Baxter Foods, they're all over Europe, Canada, and Australia. And they have a campus up in northern Scotland, a place called Fochabers. And up there, they actually have a place that they call Highland Village. Highland Village, it consists of quite a large campus, has a stream running through it, and it has their factories actually over here, and it has a lot of their shops and eating places and a little theater. Car parks back here. We're doing a lot of work for them right now. We're looking at a large master plan that begins to connect Fochabers Village to the actual village, Highland Village, where the Campbell's soups or Campbell foods are made and canned, all the way connecting it back to the village. And we're doing that as interior experts. And the way we're doing that is with a very, very soft touch. We're looking at bringing busloads of people to the car park and introducing Baxter's through a path that starts at the car park up into the Highland Village. And this is what it looks like from the car park in the middle of nature. Starts to tell the history of Baxter's, talks about the natural ingredients, the region, the water quality, the fish, the origin of some of their ingredients, nutrition. It teaches about Fochabers, about what the locales, about the Scottish heritage that they're very proud of, that we're all proud of, and ends in this portal that takes you through into their village, but all of this as an exhibit opportunity for them. We do product development. Again, we don't care to think in terms of, well, is a product really cool? Has it been done before? We look at any of our design briefs and we ask some pretty fundamental questions. When I was asked to design a carpet product for Lee's, commercial carpets, I chose to work with a team of people, in part to really explore the issues and ideas around collaboration. And so we did this product that in the history, first time ever at NeoCon, which is the large merchandise mart in America, one of the largest trade shows that we have in the US. A carpet won the best of show ever. And it did that because of a very fundamental question, which said that for years and years and years, On the one hand, we have nylon. It's an exemplary fiber, but we've been taking nylon and we've been making it look like wool, and why are we doing that? And what is the authentic nature of nylon? And so this product, Metafloor, was designed in order to expose the nature of nylon, and through it came this kind of an aesthetic, and it ushered in a whole lot of other products that followed it. And a different product then, a sequel to that, which was very different in that it's all nylon still using Antron. And this product, Translations, was the first product ever to have had to take the weaving process and to actually use the weft and the warp, the actual weaving technology, in order to give that three-dimensionality versus literally sculpting it through cutting or shearing into carpet. So it's physical. That had not been done before. I'm going to leave it at that. I think my time is up, and I thank you very much. Horace?